Hey students, let's talk about two-hand tapping today. When I first started playing back in 1991, two-hand tapping was one of the first things I picked up and thought, wow, I can really shred now. Started out with basically just using two fingers, right? And then later found out that I could add a third finger and move it up and down the string. Okay, so the big thing that I see happening here with a lot of students is they are kind of grouping these notes in an uneven way. So we don't want this, right? We don't want little groups of three. So the first step here is to make sure your two-hand tapping is nice and even. So use a metronome if you have to, and you can set it like at a really high rate so that it's just clicking away, one click for every note to make sure that stuff is nice and even before you continue. So one of the problems I was having starting this stuff out is my index finger on my fretting hand was really pressing down too hard. It was glued to the fretboard, which is okay, you know, if you're not really gonna move it anywhere or if you're just gonna move it up and down the string. But if you wanna move it from string to string, you have to break that habit. So what you gotta do is point away from the fretboard once that middle note goes down. Right? Point away. Next thing you want to think about is your index fingers are going to be hitting the fretboard at the same time, always, as you move from string to string. Okay? So get used to pointing away, and then hit the next string with both index fingers at once. You can practice oscillating back and forth between two strings. You want to keep this hand loose, right? You don't want that index finger tight against the fretboard. Add more strings in, move it up and down, move it all around, and have fun. Now you might be asking yourself, hey, that's great, but how do I apply this to like a real world situation where I'm not just sitting by myself in my house alone? Well, I'm glad you asked. So let's talk about a chord and some notes that can go with that chord for fun times. So you all hopefully know this chord. It's your basic A, open A, major, right? And you can move that up and down the fretboard, yeah? So if we're taking E major, for example, what we're gonna tap here first is we're gonna go to the A string and we're gonna tap 11, 7, 9. We're gonna do that same thing on the D string, 11, 7, 9. And we're going to do that same thing on the next string, 11, 7, 9. Then we're going to go 12, 7, 9. And then another 12, 7, 9. So 11, 7, 9, 11, 7, 9, 11, 7, 9, 12, 7, 9, 12, 7, 9. Okay, and that will move with the chord. So wherever you make that chord, if you make it down here on C major, you're going to do that same sort of pattern. So two whole steps, and then on the top two strings, do a whole step and a minor third. Where you're thinking every other fret, and then just move your index finger this way, one fret. That's going to give you this nice little mixolydian kind of sound to go with that chord. So go forth, have fun, practice.